Patsy Swayze runs a dance studio outside of Los Angeles where she teaches hundreds of students of all ages. Before opening this studio, Patsy ran one of Southwest's most renowned dance companies in Houston, Texas. And she's been a choreographer for both theater and the movies. Despite her busy schedule, she still has time to make house calls, especially when her son Patrick and daughter-in-law Lisa want to brush up on some non-dirty dancing.
We made it.
I don't think it was easy to raise 5 kids, do you?
No, not. It wasn't, but we had some fun times.
I think you were a great mother. You know, spent a lot of years sleeping in theater seats instead of a bed, so I got a lot of cricks in my neck.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I loved every second of being in the theater and hanging out and having, growing up, that being a way of life.
It was nothing fancy. It was nothing.
Yeah.
We just had a real good down-home family, and I think our kids never gave us.
And when you put broccoli on the table, I'd gag.
Yeah, and I think that if it had not been that our kids were good kids, our job wouldn't have been so easy. You know, we're very proud, always proud of the kind of people you are.
You were a pretty good mother. You couldn't cook for beans, but...
I still can't.
I think as a kid, I always felt that you were harder on me than everybody else. I think you always do, you know, and I always did feel like I was competing for your love with your students.
I know, but the thing is that I think when you're a teacher, your own children always think, you know, they hear you yelling at other students and they don't think anything about that. They think, well, that kid deserves that. But when you're yelling at you, it's like, that's my mother, she's not supposed to make me behave.
In those teen years, you hate being embarrassed in front of other students or friends.
But then still, the part of me that was your teacher knew what you had inside, and I had to, you know, bring that out.
I was going to be a Southern gentleman if it killed you.
That's why I was...
Opening car doors for ladies and bringing flowers to mothers. You know, I found out later that a lot of people, like Lisa's mother, thought I was so corny, but she couldn't resist it.
Well, you know, I think just like any mother and dad, they want their kids to grow up to be not only intelligent and good-looking and healthy and talented and gifted, but you want your children to be able to handle themselves in any situation. And you know that to be strong and dynamic and personable and to be in the theater invites all kinds of criticism anyway. And if you temper,
and weird lifestyles.
Right, and if you temper that with good manners and respect for other people and love of neighbors and families, then, you know, it kind of, I think, helps the individual to center themselves. And I think...
you know, that sounds a little idealistic, but I live my life by that now, too.
No, and I think as far as being a student, you were never difficult until you got to that romantic age, like 16, 17, and 18, when you were doing the Prince and all the ballets, and if every pirouette didn't come off right, you were hitting that pole with your fist, and I kept screaming at you about, you know, you take it out on the dance floor, not on the walls and everything. But see, by that time, it's to the point where every girl in the studio's in love with the sons, and Patrick being the super stud in the dance company, he didn't like Mother calling him down in front of all those cute girls. So.
But it was great having a mother as a dance teacher because you had a built-in dating service.
I remember when you were trying to play the violin in the school orchestra, sing with the choir, do the lead in West Side Story in the school play, and play football too. And I was mad because you weren't scheduling time for your dance class, and I said, you're not going to football practice till you come to class, or you go to class and then to football practice, and you were trying to convince me the coach wouldn't go for that.
He wouldn't. I mean, they didn't like it that because of the performances I was doing that they didn't get to shave my head. And that started the seniors off not liking me a whole lot.
Well, I don't think you had to worry too much about the seniors not liking you. You had held the highest track record, and then when you won the swimming and diving competition, you were doing the lead in the plays, and you were running that. It
was the first time that these guys got to see me do
They began to realize
something,
that dance was helping you to provide you with the knowledge and the training and the expertise to do this well.
You know, I think when those things started to change a little bit was when you started teaching the University of Houston football team ballet because they were having too much of a problem with players being red-shirted with pulled muscles and stuff.
Yeah, but pretty soon I had a class full of football players.
But I thought it was real inspirational to me that you wound up having like the first black dance company in the South. I really admired that. That took a lot of courage at that time, and that's one of the neatest things I carry away from being raised by you and Dad is prejudice not being in our vocabulary.
Yeah. Your dad and I coming from two different worlds, two different parts of the country, two different atmospheres. We wanted and hoped that we could just open doors to all kinds of life and theater and sports and music, so that whatever you chose to do, you would have a deeper appreciation and respect for the things other people did.
You know, it's funny, a lot of those things I didn't think would ever pay off.
Well,
you know, the dancing paid off.
Well, how I feel about it is it's still like a dream, you know. It's like people, when I turn on the TV and there he is and I didn't know it, it's like, that's my child. You know, that's not their big superstar. That's my son. That's my baby. I changed his pants and taught him to swim and fed him and walked the floor with him, and that's my baby, and he's special.
I really, really do appreciate everything you gave me, and whether your love was intense or whether I felt you dealt with me in the right way all the time, I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you did, because you both gave all of us kids so many different opportunities and to believe in ourselves, and that you were always behind us. There's no moment I ever believed that you and Dad weren't behind us 100%. I would definitely like to wish you the happiest Mother's Day ever from me and Donnie and Vicky and Sean and Bambi and everybody.
Okay.
I love you.